Frozen. Hello everybody. Oh, sorry. Hello everybody. Jacquie Edwards here. Sorry I'm a bit late today. I've just had the HMO inspection officer around at 3 of our properties today. So just a little bit of rushing around and having a chat with him. It went better than I thought. I had actually complained a bit about this inspection officer. So I was a bit worried when he came if it was going to be a bit awkward. But it's all okay. So we had a good inspection. Nothing out of the normal that I wouldn't have expected. And this is the last house, so I figured I'd do my quick live here while I'm at the house so you could see it. This is actually one that we own now. So initially it started off as a rent-to-rent property. We built up a great relationship with the owner and it turned into a lease option. So that meant we had the option to purchase the property. So that was quite good because being in Oxford, properties can be quite expensive. So we're just on the outskirts of kind of the main HMO area in Oxford. So this isn't where most HMOs are. So this is one property that we turned from like a normal family home into an HMO. So because we're Article 4, we had to get planning permission and we had to get the license. But again, because we're out of the main HMO area, there aren't a load of HMOs around. So I was quite comfortable that we would get that planning permission, which we have. And we've got the HMO license. This one was a bit of a struggle to get the license. So this is when they were super overlogged at the city council. And it took them probably about 15 months to actually issue the license. The one nice thing about licensing is that as soon as you've applied for that license, at least in my council, as soon as you've applied for that license, you are able to start putting the tenants into the house. And they'll just come and do an inspection basically and tell you what you need to fix. So it worked out quite well. So basically the inspection officer hasn't been here for about 2 years. So he came right before we did the work on the property. Took them 15 months or so to process the license and actually give us a license. And then we had 12 months from that date of the license until the next inspection. Oxford does inspections right now every 12 months. They're just putting in place a couple of new license options that are a bit longer. So we're at this property. Again, we own this property now, so it was a lease option. Then the owner approached us. He had bought the property for cash as an investment. He then had some changes in his life situation. He wanted to be able to pull the cash out of the property. So he's told us, if you exercise your option early, I'll give you the deposit money, basically. So we were able to exercise that option early. So we exercised it, I think, in November of last year. We had a few problems with the mortgage, actually. Because we bought the property for such a good bargain, so I think we paid $235,000 for it. $235,000. When the mortgage valuer came out, he valued it at $300,000. And then the mortgage company withdrew their offer because we were buying it at too much of a discount. Seems a bit strange, but that's what happened. So we ended up buying it with private finance. So a friend of ours loaned us the money to purchase the property. So that way the owner could pull his funds out. He gave us the money for the deposit then. And we started working on a commercial remortgage. So because, again, this property is a licensed HMO, so even though there's only 5 people on 2 floors, we still had to get a license because it's mandatory licensing, which limits the number of mortgage lenders that will lend to us on this property. So we were unable to get the mortgage with the first one, so that meant we had to go down the commercial route. So it took quite a while to get through all the paperwork for the commercial mortgage, so it took another 6 months for that, and I think we just got the mortgage through in about April. Just in the nick of time because we had promised our kind of private finance guy that he'd have his money back within 6 months, so we just made it in there. So now we own this property. The other nice thing about going through commercial finance is we were able to take the mortgage out on the kind of full value of the property, not our purchase price. So they sent their mortgage valuer around to do a survey, and they came up with a valuation of, I think, about £280,000. So that's what our mortgage is based on. So with that, we were able to pull out about £15,000. So we've got no money left in this property. And we've got the extra $15,000. So the property is in a bit rough condition in the kitchen and in a few areas. So let me just turn the camera around. So this is the kitchen. So you can see some of the cabinet doors are a bit wonky. We actually got dinged for this in the HMO license. He also doesn't like the fact that the oven is over in the corner. That's considered an unsafe layout. We got away with it last time. I actually had the HMO license condition overturned because I had a second inspection officer come around and say, where are we going to put this oven? And he said, you're right, there's nowhere else to put it. So we didn't have to move it. Now we are going to completely redo the kitchen. So you can see there's a bit of a little dining area on the other side. If we pop through here, so these are our fire doors. We've got a big living room. Let that try to focus. With all the tenants washing, basically. But we've got a good sized living room. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're considering now, so we're either just going to rip out the kitchen and put in all new cabinets and appliances, or we're going to move this wall out and make the kitchen bigger and have a combined kitchen living room and have a separate bedroom out there in the living room. So basically put in a wall kind of along the side of that, it's a fake fireplace, but along the side of the fireplace to the edge of the window there, and that can be a bedroom, and then all of the rest of the space will be the kitchen diner. So we should have about 24 meters for the kitchen dining room, which is the minimum size that we need for the number of people and the size of the bedrooms, and we'll get an extra bedroom out of it. So I just went through that a bit with the HMO licensing inspector just to see what he thought about it, and he was all for trying to put another bedroom in. So that was a bonus. So right now there's 4 bedrooms with 5 tenants. We want to go to 5 bedrooms with 6 tenants. We're also going to do a bit of work upstairs. There's 1 bathroom, and we're going to split that into 2, 1 shared bathroom and 1 ensuite bathroom, so that one of the bedrooms will be ensuite, which means 2 people sharing a bathroom, or if we add another bedroom, 3 people. So this is one house that we own. It's quite nice. It does need some work. We did a bit of work to it when we first got it, so it was in even rougher condition, if you can imagine. This kitchen was red. If you look, oh, I'm on the wrong side. So if you look up at the ceiling, you see, oh, there's where we've had a leak problem. But you can see that beam thing running along that. So that's basically a bit of kind of foam, like crown molding, bit of a DIY job that we did. It used to actually be like fake Tudor beams all along the ceiling, and they were foam. I remember when I first came into the house, I said, oh, that's a bit weird to have a Tudor kitchen. I was like, it's not a Tudor house. And it wasn't. It was just covering quite a few cracks up there. So again, when we redo the kitchen, we'll kind of do the ceiling up so that it actually looks nice and is useful. So yeah, and also Barney, the living room was red as well. It was like the color of the sofa, but slightly different. So that red sofa, it was a bit brighter than, or a bit darker than that. Yeah, so this is one of our projects that we're just working on. I've got somebody drawing up some plans. We're going to use LNPG, so the Landlord National Property Group, to be able to get our kitchens and our fittings all at quite a good bargain price. So I'm looking forward to using them for really the first time and transforming this house now because we own it. So it'd be great to be able to add value to a property that we actually own rather than adding value to other people's properties through our rent-to-rents. So hope you've enjoyed that little bit of a tour. I'm going to pop out because it's been a busy day already, and I'll make notes from what the HMO officer said and start getting the works done. So thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.